Hey, thanks for coming. I feel like you probably in all your interviews go through this awkward thing where people go, so do I call you Dayglow or do I call you Sloan or
that happens.
Mr. Struble or...
All of them work.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all in one.
Okay.
I'm omni... what would
omnipresent.
I say? No, I'm not omnipresent, but I'm omni name. Right. I think there's a word for that.
Well, is Dayglow like sort of like the members of Kiss have alter egos, like the Demon and stuff? Does Dayglow have its own personality, maybe?
That's a really good question, honestly. Like, I've been figuring that out slowly, because my career started when I was like 17. Didn't really know what I was doing. Still don't. But I feel like over time I've defined it. But like people have been watching me do it. So it's kind of changed shape naturally as something would over time. But I would say Dayglow is like my personal project to put art out into the world. So it is me and it is the art that I make, but it's also like a world that other people are part of as well.
Well, yeah, because you have a band in your head, right?
Yeah.
When you're creating a song, that's sort of like you knowing when to stop.
Yeah.
Because I have to present this material to other people and collaborate with them on stage, right?
Yeah.
So does that help you know when to stop? Because I can kind of tell by watching like your how-to, here's how I made this song. Like if you had no limits, because time is not an object, you are sitting there in your room with everything you need.
Yeah.
Is that, if you didn't have that, you would just keep going and adding more and more layers?
Probably, yeah. I mean, I tend to overproduce things. I feel like historically I've done that. Recently, I've been trying to just stick to the basics and like not experiment as much, but yeah, I do have to keep in mind like how to play things live, because like I don't want to lean too far into the tracks world where like you're lying on stage, you know? I want to make everything as live as possible. And with my most recent record, we did that really creatively, kind of in like a headache way. We like programmed a lot of stuff, so it is live. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely something I have to consider. It's like there's limits, which are good. I think there should be limits in creativity, you know?
Well, I mean, the other side of that, though, is sometimes the act of creating, even if it doesn't end up on a record or whatever, you go, well, that was a lot of fun. I'm not going to use it.
Yeah.
Maybe I will later, but that was a lot of fun.
Exactly, yeah. You got to have fun with what you're doing, that's for sure.
What's the most time you've ever spent working on something without taking a break?
Without taking a break, geez.
How many hours? I'm not talking about an album project. I'm talking about one song
thing.
or maybe without like leaving the room to go get something to eat or something.
I'm not too much of a maniac when it comes to stuff like that. Like I'll eat, but my mind will still be there because I work at home. So like technically I'm always working. Like I'm always in the vicinity of like my job. So I feel like the longest I've ever been without like, it had to have been during the pandemic, because that was just a time warp altogether.
Oh, yeah. Time had no meaning.
Yeah, I remember really kind of losing my mind on the song "Crying on the Dance Floor." I was just really focused on the like textural aspect of the song. I really wanted it to sound like the 80s, and I went around what could have taken probably 5 minutes and just like, I don't know, it's just really mixing it over and over for no reason.
Well, it's funny you bring up the 80s. If you would use our coaster instead of the one you are using.
Sure.
We have Survivor's Greatest Hits.
Is that
coaster.
A real CD?
Yeah.
That's
Somebody added
a good
some felt
idea
to the bottom of it. Yeah,
I've never seen that.
I don't know if there's anything on that inspires you at all.
Hey, I mean, Eye of the Tiger, are you kidding me? That's a jam, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah. You can't like not feel like doing push-ups. Listen to that song.
Well, there you go. So, you're kind of a yacht rock guy too, right?
I love yacht rock. That's for sure.
I'm going to throw this at you.
Okay.
Last night, my wife wanted to go see Barry Manilow. So I took her to see Barry Manilow. Is that too far off the yacht rock path?
that hasn't been part of my yacht rock
Are
journey.
you familiar with
I
Barry
am.
Manilow?
I
Okay.
am. That's a little. If I'm,
It's not yachty enough.
it might be. Maybe. Maybe
Yeah.
it might not be yachty enough.
Yeah.
It's kind of more like swoony, isn't it? Kind of.
Oh, it's something. I don't know
Yeah.
what.
It's kind of more.
There was a lot of swooning going on.
Yeah.
There were people in the audience who hadn't swooned in years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see his face. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, it was something. That's for sure. I've never been to a show quite like that.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in Vegas.
I could see.
And I've been to
that
Vegas,
being
but
true.
never been to a Vegas show. And
And it
I
was
felt like I was
here.
at a Vegas show.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So that's too far. So what would be not too far for you?
I love Doobie Brothers. I love Michael McDonald and just that that jam aspect of boom right there. The Doo Brothers. That's what
He
it
can
should have
still sing like that.
He
too.
can.
It's
He
crazy.
can,
He's
yeah.
like 75 years
been.
old.
Yeah. I saw his Tiny Desk. It's really impressive. Yeah, I just love that that side of yacht rock where it's kind of like jam band-esque, but it's just people having fun in the studio with a little dash of funk. It's cool.
Yeah. But it's amazing to listen to those records and go, they had to do all this on analog.
Yeah.
And they had to punch in at the right time and all that stuff.
Some good drummers.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So I get the idea that you're in constant search of antiquated gear to add. Do you go out looking for old beat up synths and things like that?
I do pretty often. I mean, I am constantly on Reverb, which is like the eBay of music gear.
Yeah.
I look at that often. I try to give myself limits on what I buy online in general, because that's just you can find anything. So I try to when we're on tour, go to music shops and see what I can find, but you can't you can't beat Reverb. So yeah, I was looking there this morning.
Yeah. What are you looking for? What's your
Recently,
holy grail?
I've been just learning about pedal history, so guitar pedal history. I've always loved boutique guitar brands, but I've never really looked into the history of anything. So there's a brand called JHS, which is really cool. They just made this documentary about Ross pedals.
Yeah.
This is becoming a deep dive probably, but it's cool. Just learning about music history is really fun.
Do you like reading instructions to things?
I surprisingly don't.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
My kids would get a game for Christmas when they were little. Go, Daddy, let's play. I go,
Yeah.
Great. Read the instructions. Teach me how to play.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah. It's funny because I'm really crafty and I love building stuff, but I feel recently I've been learning to read the instructions because the instructions are there to help you.
We have the same problem.
Yeah. So
I look at an exploded drawing of something,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
it seriously stresses me
Yeah.
out. It's
Yeah.
very bad for me.
yeah.
So I would be of no help to you in the studio at all.
We'll check with each other next year, see how
Yeah.
we're doing with our instruction.
But I'd
drama.
I guess I get nerdy about watching musicians get nerdy about gear, if that
Yeah.
makes any sense. I feel like if I was a musician, I would be doing the same thing, just
Yeah.
to get weird sounds out of stuff.
Yeah. But
But
it's cool. There's so much cool gear out there. Especially I love finding stuff that's historically niche. That's what's cool about the internet too, is things will resurface.
Yeah.
That's kind of how artistic legends are formed. Almost artists after they passed away, they became famous. I feel that kind of happens with gear and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of synths are being used now and used in a new way.
Yeah.
It's kind of recycling.
They get kind of cranky, though, don't they?
They can. Yeah.
I talked to Peter Hook from New Order a few years back,
Mm.
and we were talking about the synthesizers they used to take on the road. He goes, well, they cost $4,000. It was like buying a car.
Yeah.
And we had to carry them, practically with velvet gloves because they would constantly break.
Yeah. Traveling, that's a thing where it's studio gear should probably be different than touring gear, especially with festivals and stuff. It's
it's so hot out here.
yeah, because if you're touring a headline thing where you're in a bus and it's with you at all times, you can maybe use vintage stuff, vintage amps. but then you kind of have to have a separate rig for like flying.
Yeah.
You know, because once you hand it off
they'll just
the
throw
baggage,
They'll just throw it.
Yeah, and then you're screwed. You know.
So I'm gonna let you go here in a minute, but I wanted to kind of know a little bit about your hometown because it's pretty small, huh?
Yeah.
What was it called?
Alito, Texas. Yeah, I grew up.
Population?
Oh, I have no idea. How
many stoplights?
Probably a few. I don't know.
All
it's
right.
like it's a suburb of Fort Worth.
Oh, okay.
And it has grown a lot recently.
Yeah, the city just grows right into it.
If someone went there now, they'd be like, this guy's a phony. Because it's really not a small town anymore. Like, it feels really grown. But it's like Alito High School football is like
Were
Texas.
you a football player?
I was not.
Yeah.
But I was big. Like, I was a tall guy. So I feel like people wanted me to play, but I didn't want to. And I feel like I was taking up space where like someone who cared about football could play.
Yeah.
So I just never really was into
this.
this.
It's a big deal
sport.
down there.
It's a very big deal in Alito. Yeah, they won like 9 years in a row state. So.
And they were looking at you going, son, I see you as a quarterback.
Yeah, and I'm like, no. No.
Well, you're right-handed or left-handed?
I'm left-handed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I guess we'll have to move the tackle over to the other side then.
Exactly.
Protect your blind side.
Exactly. And this is like second grade. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's pretty maniacal. Did you play any sports?
I loved baseball.
Yeah?
Yeah, being left-handed, heck yeah.
Oh,
I mean, baseball is America right there.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
It's a great
I
sport.
love baseball.
I loved, I played soccer one year.
Yeah.
Like, I love being active. Like, I love to run and, like, do active stuff, but I'm not, like, recreationally competitive. So, like, I don't know.
Being a lefty, you could have made a lot of money because there's always looking for lefties that can throw it over the plate.
Yeah. Yeah,
well, you're young. There's still time.
I might join the MLB.
Yeah?
Yeah, maybe it's not too late.
You know what? Just take up wiffle ball. That's a great thing to do on the road.
True. That'd be cool.
Lots of fun with that.
That would be fun.
Yeah. So, new album at some point? You thinking about it?
I would bet so. I'm definitely like, I'm always making music. This year has been a really good year for me to like rethink a lot of stuff. But definitely new music will be on the way. It's been a really exciting time to make stuff. But beyond that, I'm not sure what I can say.
If you had time to do a side project in a different genre, what would it be?
Oh, man. I would want to be in like a jam band.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like that'd be fun. Like all analog, like Grateful Dead cover band.
There you go.
That'd be my dream.
You gotta take one of their songs and turn that into your band name.
Yes. That could be cool.
I got to think about that. Can't be Touch of Grey. You're too young.
Yeah. I know a band called the Grateful Shred. They're pretty good. They're pretty good.
That would have been perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you could be Grateful Shred UK and pretend like you're from England. Or
Whoa. That'd be cool.
There you go. All right. Well, I've given you a lot to do.
Yeah.
So
I am ready for my project.
I think like you're just need to be busy, so that's cool.
That is true.
All right. Well, you could take the Survivor coaster if you want to remember us by.
Thank you. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It's not mine to give, but I'm giving it to you anyway.
Okay.
Because I want you to have it. I feel like you'd appreciate it.
Well, thank you, dude. I totally do.
All right.
This is such a great idea. Thank you.
Yeah. Now I'm going to go to your merch table in a year, and you're going to have your own CD coasters, right? There you go.
I'll be selling Survivor Greatest Hits. Yeah.
There you go. Thanks for being here,
man.
man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.